What is up, Assassins? Gargudon and Cole for the ones who came before here. Slightly delayed. We are, of course, going to be having a proper chat about 10 years of the ones who came before here today. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked. It's good to see you. How's everything?
Oh, good, thank you. Great to be back.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's just get into it then. So, 10 years. Wow, we did it.
Crazy.
It is.
Such a long time now as well. It feels like 5 minutes ago since creating it and the journey I've been on with it. And now like a whole decade's passed. It's crazy when you think about it. But then a lot's been achieved in that time, so it makes sense as well. But 10 years is a significant portion of my life. Crazy.
It is like we've probably talked about it a bit last year, but let's do it again for old time's sake. Wind back the clock to 2014. What was it that made you want to start it? Start the fan page really, which was essentially started out as just theories, and then looking at where it is today.
That's exactly it. So the Assassin's Creed community was very different back then. There was a lot more fan communities than there are today. And I wanted to set us apart by creating like a theory house, if that makes sense. So it was like somewhere to share my ideas. I had loads of ideas where the franchise could go. I set up a blog, I set up a Twitter account, and it was all under the title of the ones that came before because I wanted it to sort of be different and differentiate itself. It had like that mystery that the older games had. So it was originally me and the journal writing loads of Assassin's Creed theories and then posting them online. And then from there, I sort of wanted to turn it more into like a community where everyone's theories could be published. So I would get like people to write in about their theory and would share one a week. And then from there, we just grew to where it is today. It's now about 60,000 followers across all platforms when in the beginning
Wow.
it was about 10 people on Twitter. So it's quite significant.
Wow, yeah.
Amazing.
And how long was it before like the thing got recognized by Ubisoft? It was like a little year, few months, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was quite lucky to be fair because during 2014 there was the promotion for I think it was Black Flag at the time, and then we had it was like Unity Syndicate, all the games after that, and then in the promotional campaign for Assassin's Creed Unity, one of the community developers reached out to me and asked me to feature on one of the live streams. So that was when I sort of gained recognition because I was brought onto it, and then I got star player status, and then as I went from there. I became an ambassador for Assassin's Creed. So like 2014, 2015, that was like me sort of making a name for myself. And 2016 was when I was officially recognized by the company. And that's when I was like representing the UK Assassins at London Assassin's Creed movie events. I was doing interviews. So I sort of turned the ones that came before from like theories and like a community space to more like journalistic, if that makes sense. It was like more like blog posts, articles. We started doing reviews, merchandise. So we sort of, I guess, expanded what we covered and then obviously grew as a team as well. So now today it's about 23 members across the world. But yeah,
Yeah,
2016 was probably the big year for us where things really started
yeah,
happening with Ubisoft. And we still to this day maintain a really good relationship with them, which is nice.
yeah. It was, wasn't it? It was Kruger who invited you to the stream. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
no longer at Ubisoft. I think you said.
Yeah, he's left Ubisoft, but he's still with a video game
Massive
company, which
shout
is
out to
nice
the
to see.
Krugs. Yeah. Yeah, it was 2016 there, I suppose things really took off and I think yeah, it was a few months end of 2015 like you and me randomly connected on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, universe working its magic. And then it was in
definitely.
2016 yeah that I was gathering ideas of becoming a creator in the community myself. And wasn't really part of the team then, but like we had each other's backs, always sharing each other's stuff and such and such. You introduced me to so many of the OG community members and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 2016 there I started getting around to an idea of yeah, doing this like really yeah, just discussion based Assassin's Creed thing where we just talk whatever topics. And yeah, things took off from there on my end.
And that's the great thing about this. This is sort of like the evolution of the podcast that you originally started. So the memory corridor. So this
Yeah,
is sort of like a more like I guess like this is more people from around the world joining on and video podcasts as well. So obviously
yeah,
we've changed it in that sense. But then
yeah. It's
your
more.
podcast, it sort of like went away for a bit. I think it was a bit of a hiatus, and then we picked it up and then sort of gave it like a season two, if you will. And then
Yeah,
this is like what's become of that podcast. So
yeah,
it's like the two of us coming together and like putting our own spin on things.
yeah. Corridor was more like yeah, more fixed. Like I always prepared two, three questions. Where this is more, yeah. I mean, yeah, we have a topic overall, but it's kind of more loosely based, more
Mhm.
hangouty, as you've described
Yeah,
yourself.
community hangout.
Yeah, but yeah, it is wild. Like, it's 8 years ago now. Like the ones who came before was 10 years old, and we've been going for nine, you and me.
Amazing.
Um, yeah, and like I said, it kind of feels like I've been part of the team before it really was a team. And like
Mhm.
you said, it's incredible to see like how it has grown from one man in his bedroom to how many people was it in the beginning? Like three?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's been very much like trial and error with people over the years. So we've had probably about 50 people under the bracket of the ones again before in various teams. And then in 2022, when my little boy was born, I decided that for it to carry on, I couldn't do everything on my own anymore. So what I did was I split the ones again before into various groups. So now I was like the social media team, there's the video content creation team, virtual photography team, art team, so like the different branches, and then I sort of like assigned everyone various roles within them groups, and I'm always looking to strengthen them groups through recruitment.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way we've gone about creating the content has definitely expanded over the years, and like you said, we've figured out ways to expand the content and expand the teams and the way we approach making content. Because back in the day it was a little all over, like anyone would do anything, I suppose. But
Yeah.
you know now that we've kind of specifically put it into boxes and stuff, there's definitely a lot of strong things going, especially on the in terms of, you mentioned like building a community. I think today that really takes a strong form in the sense of photography.
That's a real strength of ours. We have a
Yeah,
real strong virtual photography team that are always looking for ways to connect with the community.
even after all this time, like, just in some ways it feels like we're only getting started. Like
Yeah.
the way we've been, or I in to some degree as well, have been looking into new ways of video content, which is something that, like, when the whole thing started out really strong, a lot of theories and stuff, but
Yeah.
then rebuilding everything, like, it kind of got put to a screeching halt. And then the last years we've been figuring how to try and get back into that field.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We sort of moved away from video content
Yeah,
because we found that the written content was performing better. So what we were doing was we were writing like articles, events, logs, and things, and then YouTubers would pick them up and like use what I was writing as like a script for their own video. So it was almost like they were doing that bit for us. So let's say I attended like an event for the Assassin's Creed movie, like I mentioned before,
I
several
remember that.
YouTubers would like make videos on that. So I felt like I didn't really have to because they were already doing it. So my written work was stronger, and I'd say it still is. But now with platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, it's all like reels and scroll time. So all these things are making it more necessary to be like a quick video, even if it's just like a few seconds of gameplay or
Yeah,
snippets from a podcast, like video is like a massive platform once again. So we're almost coming like full circle with the way we produce our content. And these days we're looking for a bit of a healthy mix.
absolutely. I think also, like, a lot of the ideas for video content I have, in reality, that's the kind of stuff that, like, probably maybe thrived best when, like, we got started, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like the way the series has changed, and like the video content. talking about it has been produced. But there's definitely still potential. I mean, it's just about building the team. I think we have already like stumbled onto some very unique, interesting ideas. Psychologically analyzing some of
Hmm.
the more infamous characters of the series, which is
I've been
quite unique.
enjoying that series.
Yeah,
Very good
and
by
then like you
Cicely
said,
Thrower.
shorts and stuff. That's a great format for covering Easter eggs and stuff, which has worked decently so far as well. Because there's so many like secrets and Easter eggs in all the old games.
That's the cool thing with Assassin's Creed. There's always more to
Yeah,
discover. It's like you
yeah.
looking back on it. Some of the games, 15 years old, like looking back, in retrospect, we've done before, and comparing it. So comparison videos, comparison articles. There's always something to say about the Assassin's Creed games. Not everything has been said yet, so we can always find content to produce.
It's funny you say that because maybe this year specifically it is. I feel like the some of the old games, especially the Ezio trilogy, has reached a whole new amount of love with you've probably seen that all the mods being produced for the games.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
impressive what people can do
it
with the
is.
games.
I think that just proves that, like, despite a lot of old fans having fallen off, and this future of the series always being on like a tight scale, it just proves that those old games are like, yeah, they're here to stay. They're part of video game history, and like the fans that those games produce will always be here.
Definitely, and the games will always be there. So the
Yeah,
nostalgia of it as well.
I've been
It
replaying a
really
lot of the
is
old
special.
games this year. Like, I went for AC2, suddenly felt like, okay, I'm going to replay that. And you obviously can't do that without also then doing Brotherhood, and I also did Black Flag. Just all those old games, like I bloody love them. There really
They're
is a
great.
nostalgia to them,
Yeah.
especially the second one. Even if it's not
Mhm.
like really my favorite game, but there's just something about it.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
dipping back to the old games.
yeah,
It's a
that's
very
for sure.
special time and happy memories as well.
Mm. Yeah, there is really like a nostalgic factor to AC2. I think it's the fact that yeah, it's the one where so many people hopped aboard.
Yeah,
Um, so so yeah. But let's go back to what 8 9 years ago now already. It is like yeah, it's wild how much it's grown since then. I mean, going from the thousands to being recognized by Ubisoft, and all the opportunities it's provided not only for the team but us as individuals. You mentioned the AC movie event, which
yeah.
that wasn't the first one, but there were a lot of events in 2016 where like you'd made it.
I've been very lucky with Ubisoft. I've always had
Yeah,
a very strong relationship with them, and the community team have always been massively supportive of me and all my projects as well. So that's massively helped. But yeah, I
yeah,
think just having like a contact at Ubisoft who you can speak to and request things from, and they could even ask me for something, and they have in the past. We have like it's a nice relationship, a good working relationship where we know that we're always going to be there supporting Assassin's Creed, and as a community, we'll do everything we can to promote the games. So if Ubisoft ever want us like trial a game or write a review or something, we'll always be there because the ones that came before is not going anywhere. We're only going to get bigger and stronger.
absolutely. I mean, I think you've said many times like we are one of, if not like the leading community fan site for news and content and whatever.
Yeah,
And like you mentioned, what I really like admire about it, compared to say some YouTube channels and stuff, is the community. Like we're out there, we're always interacting with other fans, our followers and stuff. The events there, what was it? The first big one you attended was Gamescom in 16,
that was
wasn't it?
massive for me. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was my first time abroad as well, believe it or not. So Ubisoft flew me out to Germany, Cologne, for the
yeah,
Gamescom event,
I remember
and
that.
that was it was the promotional campaign for the Assassin's Creed movie. So they had Rick Bower on stage in the Aguilar costume, and I was there with all the star players. They really looked after us as well. So it was like the hotel, the food, and everything they covered, transport. So it was my
Yeah,
first time getting like
Have
the
a good
five-star
weekend on
treatment
us.
from
Yeah,
Ubisoft. It was really special.
it
'Cause
was indeed.
back then, 2016, I'm trying to work out how old I was. What
Um,
year are we in now?
20 or
So 8
something
years
on the
ago.
verge of 20. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
sounds about
wasn't
right.
even a like a legal adult yet then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great time, and Cologne's a
Yeah.
lovely city. Definitely recommend checking it out if anyone wants to get a taste of Germany because it's a real beautiful city, especially around the cathedral. It's a really lovely place to go. So that was a special trip, and it was also my first time traveling alone. So I've sort of got a taste for it now, but a solo traveling probably stems from that, where you just go off and do your own thing, and that was the beauty of it.
Yeah. I remember those years like with the star players, Gamescom, E3, all that stuff. And yeah, it's kind of a shame. Or do they still do that for Gamescom? The Star Player
And
Initiative. Oh no, it was shut
not so
down, wasn't it?
much star player programs folded now, so that's
Yeah,
not a
that's
thing.
right.
So I
Oh
don't think
man.
Ubisoft take people out there, but the cool thing is the community still meet up and do like cosplay events. So there is still a
Yeah.
presence. And then Ubisoft, of course, have like their lounge, they have a booth there. So there is all that. And then they normally do something, like a leap of faith photo shoot or something. So there are things to entice you over to the booth or like freebies or t-shirts. But it's just that they don't take people there anymore because the star player program's unfortunately gone now. And of course, the Mentors Guild, that's another one that
Yeah,
existed and that's gone as well. So it's sad to see, but
it is.
the
And
community will always support Assassin's Creed.
it's also just the gaming events themselves. Like E3 doesn't even exist any longer, which is what it is. The whole list of reasons for that. Um, but yeah, other than that, yeah, it is sad to see that yeah, those big community initiatives aren't really there anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame, but luckily with Ubisoft, they are very good within local regions. So obviously the company's split across literally thousands of places around the world. There's the little headquarters. There's like in the UK, for example, there's a studio in Newcastle. There's studios down south in Guildford. So they are sort of like split all over the place. Like I think Nordic has the region. Ubisoft have the the studios everywhere, and then within the studios are like the community developers who are looking for like local assassins within our
Yeah,
own community. So they'll do like events in your area, and like we're lucky in the UK, we've got a really good local team, so they will put on like launch events and things. So that's one of the great things about the UK is a
yeah,
lot
you
of the people are like based here, and they will actually like work with the community in our area. So yeah, like I
absolutely. I
say, we're
mean,
very lucky in the UK. It's
you
cool.
and some of the other like OGs like still get invited to like privately invited to all sorts of fun events. Um, yeah, it is indeed. But no, it is. I think just in the reason why I mention it is just that not only has our site grown, but us as individual creators and the opportunities that's been provided. Even for me, like I remember I attended that was 2017, visiting the Ubisoft, the then Ubisoft Nordic headquarters back home in Copenhagen. Well, it
It's
was
cool.
really just not I suppose giga status as like a massive podcast host, but just like my passion and that I had been affiliated with people who are high profile in the community.
It's nice. And I'd say like your pinnacle is probably the more recent release, which was our Jesper Kid interview.
Yeah, that was
That
that
is
was
so
a
special.
never forget. I mean, talking to him in person was honestly not much different than talking to say like Linkin Park or like other people who have like influenced my own like
Mhm.
music writing. Um, that was really fun, all the geek out on all the nerdy sound design and production stuff.
That was really cool. And then as well, you interviewed Lee,
That's
the
right, last
Assassin's
year.
Creed Mirage Bassin voice actor, Lee
Absolutely.
Marshall. That was really cool as well.
Was indeed. And yeah, that's done wonders for yeah, my personal profile, I suppose. And also just yeah, developing myself, my interview, my people skills, and I think we should definitely try to look to get more interviews in the future with like whoever we can. Some of
That'd
our
be
best
good.
performing videos, and it's just fun. Like
It's
it's
always
so great
good.
talking to people, everything aside, and
Mhm.
they're just regular people after all. Have a fun chat.
It's always nice.
It is indeed. Yeah, the interview with Jesper was really fun, and some of the covers of some of his iconic tracks I've been doing to go with that. Some still in the
Yeah.
works. Really fun, challenging myself. So yeah, it goes full circle. You make some fun content, you learn a whole bunch of stuff in the process.
What I really liked about that one is it was a really unique perspective because obviously you create music as well.
Yeah,
So it was sort of like an insight to what you wouldn't normally get in an interview with a composer. So it was
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. I hope there wasn't anything too advanced for like non-musicians. No,
Yeah,
it was really fun, and yeah, made some great connections. I hope to maybe utilize more in the future for other endeavors. Um, but yeah, like I said, bottom line is, it's provided doing all this stuff. It's provided a whole bunch of opportunities for the whole team as well, individually. Nowadays, it's the Ubisoft Creator Program, is it not? That's
yes.
kind of like the next thing.
It's more like getting access to games early at the minute. So it's less like events. It's more like giving people
Yeah.
the tools in advance. So you get like fan kits for games, you get probably like a code early. I got Star Wars game early, which was really fun.
Yeah.
I think Assassin's Creed Shadows will probably be given early to all the creators. And the idea is that they get it early, they can do reviews, they can do virtual photography, and it's just like a positive lift before that game launches. Because obviously you've got like all the big media outlets like IGN will get early access as well, and
Of
they'll be
course. Give it a 7.
releasing reviews and but yeah, it's nice to have the community give their own like unique perspective on the game because they're the people who are going to be playing it, the actual gamers, and that's the
Absolutely.
opinion that matters really, if
Yeah.
gamers enjoy it or not.
Yeah. IGN will just give everything a 7, and of course. Um, but yeah, there is definitely community initiatives, although not the way it used to, perhaps. I mean, for veterans like us, I suppose, who've been around so long, really seen it all, gotten to
Yeah,
know a lot of people, and yeah, been through it
come
all.
and go,
There,
the,
yeah,
the programs.
the in-game, or not the in-game, like the in-person events there were a lot of in the past have kind of, yeah, faded a bit, which is unfortunate, but
Yeah,
maybe it
it's
can
it's
pick
more
up.
comic con events now, especially in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Especially in
like
the UK. I can only
self-arranged meetups.
Yes, definitely, especially with Assassin's Creed United Kingdom. So they're really good at meeting up and getting all the cosplayers together, all the fans, and they'll go to like EGX and meet up, have some drinks, all
Yeah,
pose under the sign in their Assassin's Creed outfits. It's always really fun. It's always nice to go to and see all the community members there.
of course, and there are still like AC events. Like a few months ago, some of our teammates attended the symphony
Yeah,
that they played again. That could be fun to go to, or just another concert performing some of those tracks.
I'd love to see Jesper live. I think that'd be
Yeah,
great.
I
That'd
like
be
I
so
mentioned in our talk, like back home, the concert house it's called. I gotta look to maybe attending a concert there sometime
nice.
again. I
That'd be
went
good.
to a lot of stuff when I was younger, but it's epic. Really great orchestra. There's also videos online of them playing everything from like Halo to Grand Theft Auto to other movies and stuff. So that's pretty
Cool.
cool. Um, unless there's like anything more to the community aspect, let's slowly wrap it by looking to the future. What's next?
Yeah.
What's the next 10 years gonna include? Yeah.
Yes, I think right now I'm trying to strengthen the ones that came before teams. So when I'm looking at my chart, I've got a huge chart up here of all my team members. What I'm
Yeah.
really trying to do is strengthen the social media team so that we have like consistent daily posts because I feel like Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't getting the reception it should do really because
No,
there is a bit of an agenda against it. So
it's
there are
been
a lot of
hijacked
people
by
who don't want
trolls.
this game to launch. They really are. They don't want this game to launch for whatever reasons they've got of their own. And yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a negative agenda against the game. So I think for us to cover the game in a positive light, we're going to start promoting Assassin's Creed Shadows facts and interviews and just like core facts that people have probably missed because they're busy focusing on other things or maybe
Yeah.
gameplay released, and that's like a focus where I'd like to get like all the hidden details and release them one by one, so people have a bit of an idea about what's going to make this game different from other Assassin's Creed games. So I've started it the other day so it's going to be like September until launch, November 15th, just every single day an Assassin's Creed Shadows fact, something you didn't know. So that's
Yeah,
one,
absolutely.
I guess that's like a minor thing we're going to be doing every day. And then, like I say,
Bit of
strengthening the team. So recruitment takes up a lot of my time. Like that's what the paperwork is behind me. I have to
yeah,
do like background checks on people. I have to, check people a bit for our brand really and sort of weigh up the options. What would they bring to the team? What could like them joining the team like look like in a way. Like
yeah,
I sort of have to like look at the bigger picture. And yeah, it's hard in recruitment. I mean, obviously we all do this as volunteers, so it's finding the time to do it. But yeah, I've got four people who are currently in the running to join our team. I just need to go through like a process with them of recruitment, which takes quite a while. It's like giving them different levels of access. And so yeah, that's just like another thing we're going to do in strengthening the team. And then I guess the end of the year, hopefully getting to an Assassin's Creed Shadows launch event. That'd be nice in the UK if I can attend it. The only
that'll be
issue for
fun.
me is my little boy's birthday is on the 17th and the
Oh,
game launches on the 15th. So it's like, will I even get time? But if
yeah,
not, we could do an online thing. We could do like a virtual thing like this, like a hangout where we get people to maybe get the game early by the creators and then they can drop into here and give us like maybe their overall feedback or anything. Obviously, there's embargoes and things which will come into play. But yeah, it'd be cool if we could get people on and let us know what they found, interesting about the game, what they would like to see improved, and we could pass the feedback on to Ubisoft. But for me personally, I'd like to do a developers series. So I'm trying to get in touch with a lot of the Assassin's Creed Shadows developers I've got on LinkedIn because I'm building a bit of a network on there. I'd love to do what we did for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and release like an interview every week until launch. But these things are pretty hard to get coordinated in time,
of
especially with
course.
the red tape that comes with, questions going back and forth through HR. But yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool. Even if we get like a number of them out before launch, I'd be very happy. And in
yeah,
terms of your question, the next 10 years, I guess just getting bigger and better.
yeah.
And let's say we're on
We stick around
60,000 now.
for as
Let's aim
long
for
as yeah,
120,000 in 10 years. Double it. I don't know.
yeah, we stick
But
around
yeah,
for as long as new games are being put out.
yeah.
Look to do whatever content we can on it.
I'll be
Um,
38 in 10 years' time.
man, yeah, we
Yeah,
halfway to 40.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my me personally, just keep building the video venture, which is a very new
yeah,
yeah, venture that it only feels like now we're really like digging into for the first time properly.
yeah.
Um Try and go that however we can. Like you say, trial and error, see what works best. Try it as a new media form. And other than that, yeah, keep building, strengthening the brand. Maybe really idealistically talking, see if we can get to the point where, yeah, we have talked a bit about it privately, monetize the content.
Yeah.
Keep building the brand itself. As long as just there, like, friend on friend, really just, you can really be proud of what you have built. Like it's the
I
same
think,
story as, the garage, little garage companies, three employees, and I mean, they take up 10% of Silicon Valley today. Um,
yeah,
I mean, not comparing us to Google, but I mean, it's the same startup principle.
yeah. And it was always just like the belief that we could do it and
Yeah,
just like make a name for ourselves. Because at first it really was hard. It was like no one was listening. It was like we had these tiny
yeah,
numbers, but I guess the key was never give up, and I never
yeah,
did. And obviously these opportunities came my way, which is amazing due to the Ubisoft support. But it was because I didn't give up. Where a lot of community members who were content creators back in the day, they've dropped off either because they weren't sort of on board with the changes to the brand, or the other one is that they just weren't seeing like an overnight immediate success, so they just gave up and moved on to something else. Where I just always kept going, and this is where we are today. It's pretty impressive, and I am very proud of what we've achieved.
definitely. And I think there's also something to do with that you did it at the right time. Like there,
Yeah,
the mid tens was really when maybe it's also because it's there, like I joined the community, have some nostalgia, but it really was there the community peaked. Um, like the best time to start, yeah, like an AC site was probably there in the tens
Yeah,
because you
I
still
just
had,
saw something different that we could
yeah,
offer the community, and then led with that. And like
yeah,
we still provide theories, but now today it's more about giving the community a voice, and that's what's important to me because I've had all these opportunities, so I'd like to give other people them as well.
of
So
course,
like if we're looking at like people within our group who've had opportunities, like obviously you've done the interviews that we mentioned before. We've got people who have joined to the Ubisoft Creators Program, and it's just like little things like that. But it's really nice to see, and even like getting merchandise to review, it's always really cool from like companies to reach out to us and be like, hey, would you do a review for us? And then we can like keep the product, for example. So that's really nice when I see members of our team getting involved like that. It was just a little like thank you for the content you create.
yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, we've just been really lucky to start this thing up at the right time, kind of like at the point between like old AC, new AC, I suppose.
Yeah.
They're in the mid tens, and yeah, we've just been lucky to been discovered, get a lot of support from the big people themselves to help us grow and everything.
We always
So
embrace the change no matter what. So no
yeah,
matter what Assassin's Creed became, we always put a positive spin on
like I
things,
say,
which I
we
thought
we
was,
we just do nostalgia. We do a bunch of
yeah.
stuff about the old games, which are yeah, like I said, kind of peaking in nostalgia popularity at the moment.
But then we've always supported the new game launches as well. So we sort
Absolutely,
of do hit that ground of we've got something for the older fans and we've got something for the newer fans, and we always
absolutely.
find something that
And our
is like
team
of
too,
interest to all fans.
yeah, our team too is made up of like yeah, a lot of different eras of AC. Like there's some that are definitely like kind of yeah, only a few years, like the new era, and then there's like other of us, there's the 2007 people, there's like
Yeah,
the mid tens guys like me, and so yeah. All right. We've probably missed something, but I feel like we've covered all the essentials. Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
I
I'll be
guess
back.
just here's to 10 more. And
Absolutely. Thank you for your
thanks
support.
for 9 years of friendship. And yeah, we got to do something big for our friend anniversary next year. I'll
Definitely.
come back to England. Yeah.
That'd be good. We'll
We'll
do a
meet
meetup.
we'll meet in Manchester again. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Other than that, cheers, Assassins, and thank you so much for 10 years. Here's to 10 more. Peace out, Assassins.
Yeah, take care.